Spectrum News reporter Rochelle Alleyne is at the new store on Sheridan Drive in Amherst. Rochelle.
Scott, good morning. Doors officially open at 8 o'clock. Take a look. There was a line earlier wrapped around the building, actually. You can see now it's dissipated a little bit, but I want to toss some video to show you what that line looked like. Alex, I can barely hear you over the crowd. Can you hear them right now? The Bills have just landed. I want to step out of the way. She was found here around 10:30 this morning, but we're still waiting on more details at this point. We know that little Micaiah Houston is safe and that her mother, Micaiah Lawson, is in police custody. Now,
joining us from Seneca, New York. Girl, you're bundled up and ready to go. Tell us about the conditions there.
Hey, good morning, Michaela. It's a much different picture than yesterday. The snow is no longer actively falling, but as you can see, this is the aftermath. If you can believe it, there are cars underneath all of that snow, and right over here behind me, snow plows have been working as hard as they can to dig out this plaza right here in West Seneca off of Union Road. You've seen it on the app and online, but today we're taking you inside the NITEC Control Center and showing you how they keep Western New York roads covered. That couple was Mike and Donna Phillips. I want to show you the scene of the accident behind me. You know, Casey, I don't know, I might have to make a career change. Take a look at what they have me here in. And if you actually take a look behind me, Niagara County officials say these water levels are at levels higher than they've seen in about 40 years. And that's why if you look right over here, first responders are actually laying down sandbags in the yards of the homes that are most at risk. Hey, Mark, I want to take you right over to the boards and show you exactly what we're seeing here right now. There's a mixture of both, again, coming in and going out of the Buffalo Niagara International Airport. A Wayne County man who was previously convicted on felony drug charges is now facing new charges. Alex, let's talk about what a difference an hour can make. When we first got out here, we saw about 15 people. Take a look behind me right now. We're up to about 100, maybe over 100 people now lined up against this fence, waiting for that plane to land. We're expecting that team plane to touch down here any minute now.
You will be found, you will be prosecuted, and then you will go to prison.
A strong message to all drug dealers in New York State. It comes after a recent drug bust that landed 5 men in jail.
This was a very extensive operation. It covered all of Western New York, Niagara County, Erie County, and outlying counties.
Their pictures are not being released, but according to the U.S. Attorney's Office, Reese Moore, Kevin Abernathy, and Joshua Levine were all working for this man, Robert Moore, who was based out of Buffalo.
They would operate for him in reaching customers, both when he was unavailable or customers to expand his profits in his business.
All of them are facing multiple charges for selling heroin and fentanyl to relapsing addicts. The mix was so powerful that it led to dozens of overdoses and 5 deaths across the region.
Those drugs killed them quickly, and they had no chance in surviving.
And then there's Lockport-based Oliver Kimmins, who was arrested in a separate case. According to his indictment paperwork, not only was he selling the same potent drugs which led to a 6th death, he was also trafficking young women in exchange for them.
He drove them all over Western New York to engage in sex acts with paying customers.
And he wasn't working alone.
There were other individuals involved in the distribution of controlled substances with him. Those individuals are all being dealt with federally in our federal system at this point.
All 5 men face a maximum of life in prison. In Buffalo, Rochelle Alleyne, Spectrum News. Casey, just in the last 10 minutes, they actually pulled a second person out of the water. I want to take you over to the scene and show you exactly what we're seeing. It's very empty. Those dive teams have packed up. They're moving out. We also watched first responders move some gurneys out of the way. The gurneys did not have anybody on it. We watched them put some sheets over in that area. They've also blocked off that area to give them privacy as they continue to investigate what exactly happened out here. An Amherst police chase ends with a pickup truck plowing into 2 homes on Kenmore Avenue. I'll have more on this crash coming up on Spectrum News. Trusting the process. That's what Bills fans keep reminding themselves of as we head into day 3 of the 2018 NFL Draft. You know, Casey, this issue isn't new, and the lawsuit actually isn't new either. Back in 1999, the Seneca Nation actually tried to sue the state for the same thing. And while the judge agreed with them in that case, the case was ultimately thrown out because the judge also thought that the state should be protected under the 11th Amendment. So I want to show you what this lawsuit looks like this time around. The Seneca Nation really trying to cover all of their bases. Again, just as you mentioned, the water moves so fast. You can see when we've been panning over from the surface, it does appear to be moving quickly, but what we learned last time is the surface doesn't even really paint a picture of what's happening underneath. According to those dive teams, the water actually moves even faster once you break the surface and head underneath. Scott, we're right off of the Buffalo River, and it's literally been changing hour by hour. When we got here at 6:30 in the morning, it was clear. By 7:30, it was partially blocked, and now take a look at what we're seeing. It's kind of a mixture of both. For more information on how to apply for one of those jobs, you can visit our website. For now in Amherst, Rochelle Alleyne, Spectrum News. For now in Buffalo, Rochelle Alleyne, Spectrum News. Rochelle Alleyne, Spectrum News.